today, everybody, we have a wonderful, knowledgeable guest who's going to tell us more about how to make Facebook more profitable for our home business. So the man you're going to be listening to today has been called the Napoleon Hill of network marketing, been in the industry more than 25 years. He's the author of 2 books that have each sold more than 1 million copies. That's each book, including the industry classic, The Greatest Networker in the World. His list of accomplishments are just really far too long to mention, but he's an author, a writer, an editor, a speaker, a teacher, a coach, and mentor, and also my friend. So, you know, with this guest, I really admire his dedication to making the industry more sane and stable over many, many years, decades, in fact. His ideas on get rich slow are accurate and give people a true picture of how to build success in network marketing over time. And some people have called him the Napoleon Hill of network marketing because he's interviewed the best and most successful people in the business, just like Dr. Hill did. And I'll tell you, that's no small feat to accomplish, to interview that number of people. So everybody on the call, let's welcome our special guest, Mr. John Fogg. John, welcome. Yay, we don't have a soundtrack, but we'll clap. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
Good.
You need a laugh track, Bill.
So, John, let's get right to it because we have just a short time to talk with you, and I know everybody's interested and anxious to hear what you have to say. So we all know that many people are trying to use social media as a lead generation tool, not just for network marketing, but for any kind of business, but particularly with network marketing. But regrettably, social media often does not work for lead gen for many of those people. So what have you found that works so well in using social media for a home business specifically?
It's an extension of face-to-face, Bill. And the technology offers a bunch of tremendous advantages. I think the problem most people have with it is that they still don't understand that all of this is based on relationship, and relationship is based on conversation. And they tend then to use social media the same way that they approach any other media, including face-to-face conversation, which is they're smacking people upside the head with their opportunity. They're not willing to take time, and I really understand that, especially with new people in the business. Many people get into this business because they've got to. It's the last chance they've got to pay the bills, get out of debt. In some cases, it's also personally a last chance for really making something of themselves. So from many different angles, there are lots of investments, and those investments cause people to approach working on social media impatiently. It's one of the reasons why years ago I wrote Get Rich Slow, and I've been using it ever since. It's not about the result, Bill. That's about the process. Be willing to take your time. Social media is relationship-based. The Internet is relationship-based. And people have been slowly, and I mean slowly, coming to the knowledge of that, so that today you will hear large corporations, multinational corporations, large institutions saying, you've got to focus on the relationship. Well, it's taken them a long time to get to that, but they're getting to it, and they understand it. And the first rule of working online, especially social media, is, it's like you've heard and I've heard and everybody's heard, the first 3 keys to success in a retail business are location, location, location. And the first 3 keys to success online are relationship, relationship, relationship. And
Good point.
Nothing online today offers you so many advantages based in the technology to create relationships, to reach out, to now be able to touch people who before were so far beyond your grasp, it was just not even a possibility. You can do that. You can now, with one post, reach thousands and thousands of people. In the old sales paradigm, there was a thing, Bill, called the drip list.
Mm-hmm.
And a marvelous teacher named Harvey Mackay, best-selling author, this is what he claims put him in such a top position of income and influence, was this drip list. He would send cards, he would send newspaper clippings, he'd send booklets and books, always keeping in touch with people. Well, on Facebook, if you've got 25 or 250 or 2,500 or 5,000 or more people you want to keep in touch with, you make one post, you push the button, you just did that. You don't have all the stamps, all the envelopes, all the emails. It's the easiest thing in the world. And social media, any social media platform that has a message feature, that's what you want most of all. And 67%, think about this please, 67% of all Internet users are on Facebook.
It's quite a statistic for sure, and just millions of people overall, you know. And actually,
Billion.
I think, yeah, I mean, just
a billion
tons
people.
of people. I mean, unbelievable. It's actually a small country over there at Facebook. So what do you think, Jen? Oh, go ahead.
A really great way to put somebody down today is say, "Are you on Facebook?" If they say no, you got them.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, listen, with all that said, what do you think would be the best strategy for reaching out to others if they wanted to find people who needed help starting, stabilize, or growing a network marketing business?
At the risk of, Facebook is predominantly attraction marketing, live in person at its best. Mm-hmm. Your profile page is your first step and the single most important thing. Guy sent me a message the other day. He was curious about something I had posted, and I'll explain when we get to the free seminar and when we get to the seminar that we're going to be doing with this. I'll explain this stuff in detail. So what you're going to hear today is going to whiz by you, and you may not understand it. Please don't be concerned, because there are explanations, and you will understand this. So this guy sends me a message in response to a post I made, which is part of my strategy and the strategy I'm teaching. He's real interested in what I'm talking about with what I call inter-network marketing. Very simply, network marketing over the Internet, and even more specifically, using Facebook to build your business, to connect with people, to engage people, and then to enroll people. So he sends me this message, and one of the things I do with a new person that I've never met before is I go back to their profile page. This guy, his picture on his face page looks like one of the ads for Jack Nicholson and The Shining. He is a scary-looking guy. His eyes are bugging out of his head. His hair is unkempt, and his arm in the picture is over his head like a flamenco dancer, except it looks like he's got a broken bottle or a knife in it.
Interesting. Well, he is a memorable character.
He is. Yeah, memorable is good. Memorable good is good. Memorable bad is not good.
Memorable frightening is worse.
Exactly. You're talking about connecting with people. So your first order of business is to arrange this profile page with some real intelligence. And if you're that type of person, have fun. Be creative. That gets people's attention. With Facebook, what you see is what you get. People will not get past the cover of your book on Facebook. So you get a picture on there of yourself. If you're a family guy or gal, you do it with your husband, you do it with your kids. You make sure you're smiling and you're happy And hopefully, unlike my picture, because I've made a mistake and I wear glasses with a tint, you want to be able to see people's eyes and you want them to see your eyes. Eyes are the windows of the soul.
There you go.
We think a lot about being able to look in people's eyes. Then the next thing is your cover picture. Absolutely verboten, I say, is a cover picture that has your products or stacks of money or a hand reaching out from a television saying, I can make you. We all hate that. Nobody trusts that. Nobody wants that. If that's what you got, get it down now. And put up.
Great tip.
Put up a picture and change that picture because the internet is newsworthy. It's all about news. What is new? N-E-W. News in that way. And people on the internet, everything's changing. The Huffington Post changes every day. All of the good internet sites are changing. Content on a blog, change. Add something new. So once a week, twice a week, if you're working on Facebook, you want a new cover picture. Right now, I've got a castle in Lithuania up on my cover picture because my wife, who was born in Lithuania, is over there with my two girls visiting her parents, her sister, for 3 weeks. Now, I put that picture up there, and I say, this is my wife's parents' house. Okay, I'm lying. This is blah, blah, castle in Lithuania. I go find this information. It's fun for me, and it provides interesting content for people. So I'm going to change that picture probably today because it's been up for 2 or 3 days. That change gets people's attention. You change your cover picture, Facebook will put it on your wall, and then you make a comment and you describe what the picture is. Well, these cover pictures are also great for you to display your loves, your likes, your interests, your hobbies, your dreams. For instance, you may not have been to Fiji, but it's your dream, or Tahiti, but it's your dream. Google Tahiti, Google Fiji. You will get pictures, tons of pictures, of gorgeous beaches and Bali High type mountains. Smack them up there. Share your dreams through these pictures. People are going to get to know you. Then there is all of the information. Who are you calling yourself? What do you say your position is? If you're a home-based business owner, I work for myself and I love it. Oh, yawn. How about global internet marketing entrepreneur? Well, most of the people you're going to be talking with, gosh, they'd love a global business. They're on the internet. They'd love an internet business that works. An entrepreneur, we all are. That's why we're on this call. So, global, worldwide, international, internet entrepreneur, that's a position you want. But then fill in the rest of you and your about section. Your about section is not, this is your life, your memoirs on Facebook. Less is more. Hit the high points. What do you care about most in your life? One of the things I put on mine was my top 5 values are. So people look at my about section, they get that spirituality is important to me, creativity is important to me. I put up the highlights of my background. And just because you who are listening are not some quote-unquote famous author or industry expert, you have done things in your life that are important to you, and that authenticity is what you want to communicate to people. If you put stuff on your profile page, I mean, it's like, okay, here you are, a 48-year-old woman, and you put a picture of a 24-year-old runway model up there. Doesn't cut it, folks. You want it to be authentic people are going to fall in like, and I'm going to teach you how to do that, with you. And some of them are going to fall in love with you. And please tell me, when you're looking for business partners, when you're looking for partners of any kind, don't you want people who've fallen in like or love with you? So that's your page. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's really, really, really a good point. So just because we have limited time here, and I want to have a little bit of time to tell people about our upcoming event next Tuesday that you're going to be working with us on, just really quickly, what I heard here is a recap, because this is the call to action. So to kind of get everybody started thinking of Facebook in the right way, I loved how you talked about the personal picture, the profile picture. Let's see your eyes, windows to the soul. If your picture isn't authentically you, change it. That's step one. The changing the background, the cover image, I love that idea. Just like a blog, keep it fresh, beautiful, and being authentic and telling us something about you on the About page. Just all three things that if you're listening to this call right now, go do it. John Fogg has been in this realm, and he knows what he's talking about. So, John, our call to action this week, though, is what I really want to be sure we have a few minutes to talk about here before we run out of time completely. And we're going to be doing a free teleseminar with you covering the how-tos of social media, a la internetwork marketing, as we've been discussing it today, in much more depth. So, John, can you just take a couple of minutes, tell us what that free teleseminar next Tuesday, the 19th of February, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, is going to be all about and cover?
Sure. I'm going to say everything that I've said today and more. And with what I've said today, I'm going to get into details like, okay, do you have Photoshop? Yes, no. If you don't have Photoshop, look for Google Photoshop, free Photoshop shareware. Get it so that you can make your cover picture 600 by 200 pixels, and don't let Facebook crop it for you because they do a lousy job. I'm going to get into details like that. I'm going to get into details about how you post, what you post, where to find things to post, how to position those posts, and use the comments, the likes, and shares to reach out, grow your circle of influence, and make sure you're the center of it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the number one important part of all of this, which is how to engage in conversation. The formula is simple. It is connect, engage, and when there is a fit with you, with that person, with your company, with your products, with what you have to offer, with all of that, when there is a fit, you then enroll people. The first major part of that, where the rubber meets the road, is in the messaging function, and the goal of the messaging function is to get them off the internet on the phone with you, and I'll teach you how to do that. And I learned long ago when I first got into consulting that the best way to be with people from the beginning is give it all away. And so I count on Bill to draw it out of me, and I'll give you as much as I can.
Wow. Excellent. Well, this is our call to action this week. Next Tuesday, February 19th, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We are going to be at this free teleseminar with John Milton Fogg regarding social media marketing and how to take this and explode it as part of our program. So, Mike Lewis, I know you're out there. I'm going to bet you got a few thoughts here to share and maybe a couple of questions for John. So, Mike, what are you thinking about what you're hearing out here?
Well, as is my nature, I do have a couple of questions. So, John, what about people that like to have multiple pages on Facebook, different pages to target different things? Is that something that you would advocate?
Eventually, Mike, for most people, and when I say most, I mean 98, 99%. Almost all of us, especially in home-based business, are our personalities. It's personal. So my advice is always to people, your initial page on Facebook is both personal and professional. Now, there are some rules. Facebook does not like you pitching stuff. And you don't have to in order to make use of that attraction marketing. Now, down the road, if you want to break out your opportunity, or if you're a coach and you want to break out your coaching propositions for people, you're an author, you want a page for your book, whatever it happens to be, a fan page on Facebook is a great thing to do. I do think most people run to making one of those prematurely. And, baby, what I'm talking about with Facebook is work. I'm talking a couple of hours every day you go to work. So when you get your personal page, then a fan page, then a business page, you're not going to have any time for your life.
Yeah, I hear you, John, because I got a business page, and I think the last time I wrote anything on it was last July. You know, I just never get around to doing it. You know?
Well, and I'll tell you something else around this too, John, where you mentioned here a few minutes ago about pitching and all of that, which, you know, so many in network marketing are richly known for, regrettably. And GPN definitely has that system to help people, or a methodology to help people find a path to success in home business. It sounds to me like that message, the message of helping people who want to start, stabilize, or grow a network marketing home-based business, this Facebook methodology you're talking about, your ideas here in inter-network marketing, are just a perfect fit for helping people get away from the pitch and getting away from the agenda and the hype and the salesy thing that we all hate to see on Facebook, and into helping other people find that personal path to success in a way that can make home business work for them. So, I mean, it sounds to me like a perfect natural fit for the GPN way, too. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else in the crowd out there? We got quite a few people on the call today. Facebook, I thought, might be a hot topic for everyone. Anybody on the call with anything they'd like to share? Question for John? Anything at all? The silence was deafening. Okay, Daniel, what about you? What did you hear on the call?
I got one. I got one, Bill.
Yeah.
When Facebook kicked off, the general gist for most people was to get as many friends as you could, you know, and everyone's trying to get 5,000 friends, so they maxed out. I couldn't see the value in that, just having a list of names on there. So I still only have, I think, 600 and something on my list, and probably only 100 of those are people that I really resonate with, shall we say. You know, me, I'm a rebellious nonconformist kind of guy, so I like rebellious nonconformist people. So I'm thinking about deleting everybody off of my list who doesn't fit my attraction magnet, if you will, and just having a shorter list but better quality people. Is that a good thing?
It's a Mike Lewis thing.
So many things are, John.
It's a Mike Lewis thing. Yeah, Mike, I put up a post the other day you would love. I don't know if you've seen it. The headline is Premature Ejaculation.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
The original meaning of ejaculation is dart out. It's blurting out something. And my point, I used a picture of a disgruntled guy and that headline in caps. I was appealing to network marketers who, you know, they talk to you for 25 seconds and then bring up their opportunity. You know, cut it out. Get to know people first. Now, let me go back to your point. I disagree with you, Mike, and I think I understand why you say that. You want these friends to be real. You want them to be people you share common interest with, etc. And I sure see the accuracy and the authenticity in that. But I offer you this. What about people on the periphery that you can influence positively with your way of thinking, with what you think is best, with your help, with your teaching, with what you have to offer? There are a lot of those people who you will never get to know, Mike, but you can influence their lives. I wrote a book called The Greatest Networker in the World. Over 1 million people have purchased that book. Over 3 million people plus have read that book. How many do I know? Not very many. How many lives have I been able to touch in a positive way? A bunch.
Yeah, I'm of the frame of mind that if I reduce my current Facebook list to the movers and shakers, shall we say, people who really want to find out more about life and living, then I can go seek out other people from the billion people on Facebook who are my kind of people and go find them rather than...
Excuse me. Because of the time limit, you can sort those people. You make a post on Facebook. Here's part of the magic, and we'll drill into this more deeply in the sessions to come. You make a post on Facebook. Underneath that post is a place for comments. People who care about what you've just said, pro or con, will comment. There's also this dumb little like, thumbs up thing. And what you'll find under a post is you'll find a couple of names, and then it'll say, and X number of others. You also have a little share icon on there. What I'm going to be teaching people to do, Mike, is to engage with people who make comments, engage with those people who like what you just said in a very humane way, and add them to your friends list, because you've got more marketing reach and power with 1,000 friends and 2,000 friends and 4,000 friends than you do with 50 or 100. And it's a very legitimate relationship-based way to connect with people who are caring about what you've got to say and share.
Okay, good stuff.
Okay.
Thanks, John. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks, Mike.
right.
Excellent.
I got one quick question. Can I squeeze one in?
Absolutely.
So why do you want to get them on the phone? Why not? I mean, I see a lot of people trying to do everything automatic. They like to build their downlines in a fully automatic way. What you recommend to them that wouldn't be very attractive to those.
Now, could I say, because we're running really close on the time, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. I think, John, covering that, showing people how to use the GPN way and building relationships that way and why we would do that would be really kind of an in-depth discussion. We may want to cover that on the teleseminar in depth, but maybe we could just make a cursory comment because we have to move on to our news now.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. This is Booms. Can I make a comment?
No, hold on a second. Let me make that comment Bill wanted me to make. You get them on the phone for a number of reasons, the most of which is the energy. Posts, writing on Facebook, I'm a professional writer as well as I can craft them. You cannot hear the music of my voice, and listening is two things. It's words and music. Mostly 99.979% of what you get on Facebook is words. Get me on the phone, you hear my music. If I tell you the truth, you hear it. If I don't tell you the truth, you hear it. That's why you want them on the phone.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
thanks.
it. And living in Sedona, I can really relate to that energy thing. Hey, Boomer, did you have something you wanted to say in there?
Yes. John, great comments here, great information. I have found that in our microwave age, we have even our young people using texting instead of engaging conversations. And the one thing that I completely validate, and I'm glad you brought that up in the last comment, was the fact that you can't tell what somebody, the emotion behind it with just letters on a page. It loses its flavor in the way the information is received, because communication is only what the other person perceives, is not necessarily how or what you are trying to communicate.
Can you say your name? Say your name for me again.
Booms.
What is your name?
Dan Girolamo. Boomer.
Boomer. Boomer. If everything I said today had been written down and PDF'd to you, would it be different than you hearing me?
Yes.
Because
there's more. There is more communication in somebody's vocal cords than there ever will be in just written words.
Yep. Speaking and listening. Listening is two things. It's words and music. And music is the communication of the heart, the imagination, the intuition. And if you're talking about somebody you want to get into partnership with, boy, you sure want to be on that wavelength, not just the words.
It's correct.
Right.
I found that there's a overload of inputs to connect with people these days. You have 50 different ways that people are trying to reach you. And once you get in the hub of, or become a hub, you spend more of your time trying to catch up to answer stuff than you do in your proactive means. And I am always been looking on a simple way to sift some of that out, and I'm hoping that GPN is a good solution to that. That's in my track here because of the relationship building.
Good points. Good points. Well, I got to tell you, John, and everybody on the call, I'm looking really forward to this teleseminar where we get into digging into all the details on this next Tuesday, the 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So we have some semblance of staying on time track here. Leanne Bremer, our Director of Communications, do you have news for us?
We always have news. We have big news, super duper news. Hi, everyone. I am here as your friendly communications person to tell you we want you to communicate with us, and we want you to do it through the blog. Now, why we keep harping on this every week, and many of you, as soon as you hear the word blog, your brain shuts off and you go get another cup of coffee. But please don't do that this time, because here's the deal. The more good articles we have on the blog, the more people will read the blog, the more people will be interested. We're going to post the heck out of this John Fogg teleseminar coming up, and we would love for you to write us a blog post. Now, I know all of you just went instantly back in your minds to being in 11th grade English where you had to write all these horrible essays, and that is not what we're talking about. We're talking 250 to 300 words of some insight, some aha that you had during your experiences building your home business. Because here's the thing, there is nothing more interesting to someone who is in your shoes to read about what you're doing. And even if what you're doing is totally not what they want to do, that gives them the gift of knowing, holy cow, I don't want to do that. And that's as much of a gift as finding somebody to say, that's the best idea I've ever heard. So anyway, blog posts, blog videos, blog audios, whatever you have, even if it's a cool picture that you found, email it to me at communications with an S, communications@gpncenter.com, and I will pop it right onto the blog, and we will be grateful. And that's all the news from me. Back to you.
Excellent. Very good. Well, we always wrap up all of our calls with hearing from our president and CEO of GPN, Denis Vachon. So, Denis, are you present, ready to speak up?
You bet. Thank you, Bill. Well, exciting stuff, and thank you, John, for joining us today. Always a pleasure. And I think this is really, really exciting stuff. And I see a couple of things that come out. Some of the things that John said. The whole relationship building. This is really expanding your warm market. I think that's one of the things that John said. It's really connecting with people, right? We talked about connecting, engaging, enrolling. Well, that fits so nicely into the GPN way of doing things. And it does in itself provide, again, we're all about providing different paths to our members of how they can reach out and find people that might be interested in the benefits of a home business so that you can direct them to the consultation and help them find their personal path to success. That's really what it's all about. And this is just another way to, again, more than just find people that might be interested. You're, again, creating relationships and friendships. So expanding your warm market, and then, again, the same way as we talk about dealing with our warm market all the time, we are not there to pitch them as soon as we possibly can in our opportunity. We're simply there to engage and nurture that friendship and that relationship. And when we have that natural conversation, something might come up. We talked about getting them on the phone. You're going to be talking to them. It might not be the first time you talk to them. It might be the fourth or fifth or sixth time that something might come up that might indicate their interest of exploring the benefits of a home business. And when that opportunity happens, we, the member, would just direct them to the consultation to help them find their personal path to success. So the whole, in our case, the connecting engaging. The enrolling part is just getting them to the consultation. It's all about helping them find their path. To me, this is just an awesome combination, and very powerful with what John is going to teach everybody here in some of these seminars we're going to be doing. Really, again, how just another way that people will feel very comfortable, again, in finding individuals that might be interested in what they have, and more importantly, expanding, all the friendships and relationships that you have out there. So just to me, this is a really powerful option that we're going to be providing to all of our members. We're going to be working with John not only to provide this teleseminar next week, and I'm sure Bill will give you more details on that just to wrap up here, but it's just, again, it's working with John continually to again, really provide a complete path here. We're going to be educating everybody on how to do that. If you have an interest in doing this, and again, it's not for everybody, but if you have the time and the energy that you want to spend on Facebook to get those relationships, we're going to be working with John here to really provide you guys that path and all the education and coaching and mentorship necessary to help you make that a very effective path for you to go out and find people that might be interested in home business. So exciting stuff. Thanks again, John, and we really look forward to the ongoing seminars and continuing our conversation here next week. So thanks, everybody, and have a great week.
Very good. And just a quick reminder, John, Internetwork Marketing with John Fogg, the free teleseminar covering the how-tos of social media marketing and digging into more of what we talked about today with John directly is going to be Tuesday, February 19th, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And also, next Wednesday, John will be back so we can talk about, answer questions of anything that he covered in Internetwork Marketing free teleseminar on next Tuesday.